Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out the brand new OnePlus Buds 3. In fact, they're so brand new that they don't actually come out for another week, but I'll put a link in the description so that you can keep up with them and actually check them out once they're released. And OnePlus is one of those companies, and I think in the last year, they're trying to prove something. They've done it with the OnePlus Open, which has proven that they can do folding phones better than almost anybody out there. And then with the OnePlus 12 that's just released, they're trying to prove that in a flagship phone, you don't have to spend $1,000+. You can pick it up for $700 and it competes with all the bigger name brands out there. And I think they're doing the same thing with the OnePlus Buds 3 because these come in at $99 and they offer some really impressive features and sound quality that's basically again telling you you don't have to spend $300 on a pair of true wireless earbuds. So we're going to talk about the features, we're going to talk about what comes inside the box, and basically see why this may be the best deal on a pair of earbuds under $100. So before we get into the features, let's talk about the actual look and the design of these. The case and the earbuds are both very small. The earbuds actually uses a combination of touch controls and swipe gestures to give you control over everything. So you have your touch features for play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and the swipe gestures allow you to control your volume. So you have control over everything right out of the box. Now, as far as the features that these have, they do have Bluetooth 5.3, which means they're giving you that multi-point connection, so you can connect to more than one device at a time. They are using dual dynamic drivers with what they call bass wave, which we'll talk about once we get into the sound. They're also high-res wireless certified with LHDC playback, so that is a very high-end Bluetooth codec. In fact, it's giving you 96 kilohertz up to 24-bit playback, which is essentially like having CD quality. And then it also has 3D audio, which basically is like spatial audio. And this one I was impressed with. Spatial audio for the most part always seems gimmicky. It's always something I don't really care to use, and I still feel that way. But I feel like with movies and videos, this is the strength in 3D audio, where with music, I just choose to leave it off altogether. And all of this can be done within the Hey Melody app, which you will have to download to be able to keep these updated. This is also how you go through what they call golden sound, but it's basically a hearing test that you go through so that it can kind of personalize the EQ settings based off what you're able to hear. But there's also some pre-built EQ settings. You can also adjust the EQ settings the way that you want. There's a gaming mode, so you can switch it into this to cut down any kind of latency or lag if you're going to be gaming or watching a movie. And also within the app is where you would turn on the multi-point connection. And this is also where you would go in to turn on the 3D mode. So the app actually allows you to do quite a bit. But because it's called the Hey Melody app, it was something I had to kind of look up. It wasn't labeled under OnePlus. So, you know, that is something that was a little bit different. And the other thing about this pair is it has active noise canceling, but it's not one of those pairs that just says it has noise canceling. Within the app, you can also adjust how much noise canceling you want it to use. The higher settings, some people can't do because of the vacuum seal type feeling that it causes with some people. Now, I found the noise canceling to be quite impressive. This is with lower tones like engine noises, AC units, but I also noticed with people talking or if a TV's on, it did a really good job of kind of dulling that out as well. And then the transparency mode is also very impressive. It made everything kind of sound natural, where I could hear my environment, I could hear people talking, I didn't have to take the earbuds out to carry on a conversation. Now, as far as using these outdoors, it comes in with an IP55 rating, which means not only does it have pretty good water protection against rain and sweat and splashes, it also has some pretty decent dust protection. So if you're somebody that are going to use them on a job site where it might be dusty, or use them at the beach where sand and things are being blown around, it's nice to know that you are slightly protected against things like that as well. And then as far as what all comes inside the box, it does come with the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. It does come with a tiny USB-C cable, and you are going to have to use this cable because it does not support Qi wireless charging. And again, we've seen a lot of earbuds in the $100 price range offer wireless charging, so that's kind of a bummer on this pair. But speaking of the battery life is pretty decent. If you're gonna use these with the noise canceling off, you can get about 10 hours on the earbuds and about 44 hours using the case. But if you decide to use them with the noise canceling on, it's gonna bring it down to about 7 hours on the earbuds and about 28 hours using the case. And there's other things that will affect your battery life. If you're gonna use the gaming mode, it will bring it down a little bit more. And then if you're also going to use the high-res wireless audio using that LHDC playback, that's gonna bring the battery life down as well. But if you pick the earbuds up and they are dead, these do have a nice fast charging feature where a 10-minute charge will get you about 2 hours of use. Now, as far as using this pair for taking phone calls, there are 6 microphones total, and it does a very impressive job of picking up my voice and also blocking out a lot of my surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the OnePlus Buds 3. And like I said, I think it does a very good job of picking up my voice. I think things for the most part sound pretty natural, but this is what it would sound like while you're taking a phone call. And so now here is the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. Now, like I said earlier, they are using dual dynamic drivers. It has a 10.4 millimeter woofer mixed with a 6 millimeter tweeter. And this is a very powerful and vibrant pair of earbuds. It's really just trying to bump everything up. It's trying to push it right there in your face. It's not trying to hold anything back. And I know that this is what a lot of consumers are looking for. If you like low end, it definitely delivers here. Mid bass, sub bass is all brought out pretty well. It definitely has that subwoofer type feel. And the good thing about this is it has very forward mids and really bright, clean treble. So it balances out really well. It's not where everything is just pushed over to the low end or, pushed too far to the right where everything's just overly bright. I never felt like these got harsh, but I still felt like having that really punchy bass and that really bright treble made everything sound clean, but still dynamic. And the soundstage and the sound imaging on this pair was also very, very impressive. Now, if you switch it into that 3D mode, it opens things up a little bit more, but even with that turned off, it still made me feel like I was in a pretty large room, and I never had any issues with being able to tell where different sounds were coming from. And again, switching it into 3D sound for movies and videos made it seem a little bit more like a concert hall, and it just does a better job of awareness, but it just still does not work good in music, but that's just a personal preference, and I think I'm always gonna feel that way. So my overall opinion on this pair is it's an overall just hell of a value. Coming from one of the top phone companies where you have brands like Apple and Samsung, their pairs are usually $200 to $300, especially with their higher end models. And this pair, with the exception of not having the Qi wireless charging, having the noise canceling that these do, also with the battery life and the high-res wireless certification, having the features within the app, the multi-point connection, and just the overall dynamic sound that these have. Again, I think this is one of the best earbuds under $100. I think there's a lot to like here. You do have 2 different options if you're looking at these. They're available in a black, but also in a blue. I have the black version here, although I would have liked to have seen these in the blue, obviously since I'm a fan of the blue colors. But this is a very good buy. So again, I have the link in the description if you guys want to go over to their site. I believe you can check off a thing where it will notify you the minute these are available. And we are about a week out from these being released. But guys, that's my video on the brand new OnePlus Buds 3. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.